They had a commercial some years back that said, you got to learn how to shout it out.
All right.
And there are some things in my life that I've learned how to shout it out.
All
There are
right.
some things I've been through, I've learned how to shout it out.
Yeah.
And you got to learn in the midst of your trials and your tribulations, your ups and your downs, your goods and your bads, you got to learn how to shout it out.
That's right.
Ooh,
Amen. Amen.
What am I shouting out, preacher? You sick, but you're shouting about healing. You broke and you shouting about financial stability. You broken and you shouting about being whole. God is polishing your personality and he's repairing your health, wiping out the stains out of your life, and he's cleaning up all your credit. I believe God.
Amen.
For a miracle. If you drove here hurt this morning and you refuse to leave here without being healed, you ought to shout it out.
All right.
You remember when Jesus was walking? There was a man on the side of the road who was blind. He said, Son of David, have mercy on me. Imagine had he not shouted, he would have never received his healing. And if you still waiting on healing, you might want to shout it out.
Amen.
Oh, in this 11th chapter of John, John opens up with there's a certain man whose name is Lazarus. Lazarus lived in a town called Bethany with his sisters Martha and Mary. Lazarus, like so many of us, he went to a doctor whose name he could not pronounce, gave him a prescription he could not read, to take to a pharmacist he had never met, to take medicine he had no intent on taking. Lazarus is the brother of Mary, who anointed the feet of Jesus with ointment and wiped her hair with his feet. So they sent word to Jesus saying, the one whom you love is sick. When you read the text in depth, Brother Isaiah, you will learn that we never knew that Jesus loved Lazarus until he got sick. Because at one point when Jesus is at the house getting his feet anointed and the other sister is in the kitchen cooking, Lazarus never acknowledged Jesus. Jesus was in the house. Jesus was in the presence of Martha, Mary, and Lazarus. But he never acknowledged Jesus. Because there comes a time in your life when Jesus can be in the midst and you can fail to acknowledge him. And if you don't know it, let me just tell you, he will find a way to make you acknowledge him. And Lazarus' acknowledging was, he's sick and he's about to die. Let me tell y'all something. Bad things happen to good people. Storms rise in all of our lives.
That's right.
I don't care what school you went to, what neighborhood you live in. Your car may have two names and your neighborhood may have a gate in front of it. But hear me well, tragedies do unfold.
That's right.
And I don't care who you are, misfortune does strike. It rains on the just and the unjust.
That's right.
Hear me well, life can push you to the point of wanting to give up. Because you can be stretched to a level of almost being depressed. God is trying to get glory out of your life in every situation that you go through. But God don't want you to crack under pressure. When the pressure is escalating in my life, I can't come to church and just sit by dead, lifeless people who don't have any power.
All right.
When I need a miracle, I need to sit beside somebody who has praying power.
Amen.
I'm talking about somebody who can call the Lord and things are changed in my life.
Amen.
I I come to church, I don't want to sit by just anybody.
All right.
I don't want to sit by nobody who's surfing on Facebook and playing Candy Crush in the sanctuary. I want to sit by somebody who got supreme power, somebody who's anointed, somebody who can send a prayer through and things can change in my life. I don't want to sit by nobody who's texting in the sanctuary, but I want to sit by somebody that has some power. I don't want to sit by no gossiper in the sanctuary who's talking about everybody and not seeing the own law that's in their own eye.
All right.
Jesus said, I tell you what, I'm going to stay 2 more days because God does things in his own time. And God does things in his own way. Don't fall apart this morning because God hadn't moved in your life.
That's right.
Everything that's in your life, all that won't kill you, baby, is going to make you stronger.
All right.
The perfect place for somebody right here is to testify that if you hadn't gone through all you've been through,
that's right,
you wouldn't be who you are today.
That's right.
God used some trials and some tribulations to develop you into who you are today.
That's right.
It is the brokenness in your life that built you. It's the loneliness in your life that constructed you. It's people lying on you that liberated you.
That's right.
It's the pain that promoted you.
All right.
Promotion is not based on perfection, but it's based on progress.
Amen.
And I decided I'm going to just keep it moving. You see, you don't get promoted from one grade to another because you're perfect. You get promoted because the teacher sees you made some progress.
All right.
You passed some tests. You've been present. You've been in the fight. You held your own. And because you made some progress. Now you hadn't done well on all your spelling tests, but you've done well on enough spelling tests. You hadn't passed all your math tests, but you passed enough math tests. So since you passed enough, I'll just promote you to the next grade. And God will promote you, not because you're perfect, but because you're making progress. You don't lean on your own understanding, but in all your ways, you have learned how to acknowledge me, and you let me direct your path. And then I just promote you.
Amen.
Jesus tells his disciples, let's go through Judea. They remind him, Jesus, those people through Judea want to stone you. But Jesus said, let me tell you something. If you walk in the light, you won't stumble. Lord knows, I hope your enemies know that greater is he that is in you than he that is in the world. You got so much God in you until on your worst day, the enemy can't even handle you. The enemy can't take you. And let me tell you something. No weapon that's formed against you will be able to prosper.
That's right.
I didn't say weapons won't be formed.
You're right.
I said they just won't prosper. Let them form all the weapons they want to form. They're not going to prosper. You know how long they've been plotting in the back room trying to fire you? But you still there. They formed the weapon, but baby, it won't prosper. You know how long they've been trying to evict you, but you still staying there. They formed the weapon, but it won't prosper. You know how long they've been trying to foreclose on your house? They formed the weapon, but guess what? It's not going to prosper. You know how long they've been trying to repossess your car? They formed the weapon, but guess what? It won't prosper because you still riding. You still eating. You still dressing. You still enjoying life. Because what the devil meant for bad, God can turn around and work it out
for good. That's right.
Oh, brothers and sisters.
Amen.
Have you seen Jesus? Because I'm looking for him. The first thing I want to point out to you in this message is you got to learn how to be dedicated to your own deliverance. Jesus told him when he got to the grave, because she meets Jesus and she's looking at him eye to eye. She said, Lord, if you had been here, And Jesus said, you know what? I'm the resurrection and the life. She said that her brother was going to rise in the last day. She didn't realize what she was looking for, you're really looking at. And so Jesus says, let's get past all these preliminaries. Just show me where you laid it.
Right.
Because I don't have time for this little chatter and this little foolishness. Just show me where you laid it. When they got to the grave, Jesus said, take the stone away. Brothers and sisters, let me tell you something. Stones are people who want to see you consistently going in circles.
All right.
Stones are individuals who want to see you take the long way home. Stones are beings that don't want you to reach your goals or your dreams. Stones are people who are always telling you what they said and not what they said. Stones are people who are always bringing you mess and gossip and garbage and foolishness. Stones are people who want to hold you down because they see God elevating you.
All right.
So they advise you in a way to benefit them and not you. They encourage you to shop because they broke. Stones.
All right.
They tell you and try to give you advice about your relationship and they single. Stones. They don't think you should because they can't. They are stones. What is it, or shall I say, who is it in your life that's hindering you this morning from going to the next level? If you keep putting up with certain people, eventually they're going to pull you down. In a real sense, we can be friends, but we got to be friends from a distance. Because I've learned you a stone. And during this season of your life, you got to trust God. And stop trying to entertain and deal with people who you know don't mean you any good.
All right.
In this hour of your life, your relationships and your friendships, they got to change. Because a lot of those people are stones. And when you come to church, please be sure you don't sit by stones. Because you see, stones are people who shout over cars. Stones shout over clothes. Stones shout over promotions. Stones shout over handbags and red bottles. But you need somebody who can shout over the goodness of God.
Amen.
Who can shout that God woke them up and God healed them and He delivered them. Be sure you don't sit around and fool around with stones.
Amen.
The second thing is, whatever you are going through, hear me well. It might be fatal, but it's not final. Jesus said, if you believe, you will see the glory of God. He said, remove the stone